new idea, a new sensation, a new product, you often want to have a patent on it to protect it. And our next guest knows something about that. Bill Nottingham is principal at Nottingham Spirk, based in Cleveland, in our Bloomberg 1130 studio in New York. And you may not know the name Nottingham Spirk, but you know a lot of its products, right? We're talking about things like the Swiffer, the Twist and Pour paint cans on Sherwin-Williams. I mean, you guys have done a lot of these things, or at least done the patents for them, overseen the patents for them.
It's funny. We actually done a lot more than that. So we create businesses. A patent is great, but if you can't make money from it, it's irrelevant.
Right.
And we help people grow, and patents are one of the tools.
Do you know right from the bat whether a patent is going to have some momentum, actually create a business, be the foundation for a business?
It's important to get the patent, but you got to think about what's behind the patent. So you have to develop a product that makes sense to the user, makes sense to the market, makes sense to the business, makes sense by cost. And at the end of the day, it's got to make life easier. If it makes life more challenging, it's irrelevant.
So as it relates to the patent, the patent office is getting a lot of deserved criticism for the slowness in examining patents, the willingness to issue patents for things that maybe shouldn't be patented, and the inability to manage disputes. What's your relationship like with the current patent system, and where would you like to see it improved?
Well, I'll be honest with you. We've never been turned down by patents.
Yeah.
The one that we did get challenged, we actually went to D.C. to fight for it and got it. So we've gotten about 1,000 commercialized patents, all of which we've assigned to our clients. And I think the key is it's a tool. It's important, but at the end of the day, you've got to make something out of it. There's a lot of people that hold patents and they don't make anything from them. And so we use it as a tool. If the patent office is taking too long, you do another one. And then you come out with a product. And then you solve a problem in the marketplace. And then the patent will work for itself.
You specifically, I know we wanted to talk to you about kind of the Internet of Things and how that's impacting the patent process. Cory and I spent a lot of time talking about technology. A lot of folks come in with some interesting ideas. Some of them are going to be around for a long time. Some of them will not. How do you pick and choose, or how do you figure out how the Internet of Things is going to impact what you do?
The Internet of Things is so exciting, but it's so big. If you think about it, autonomous vehicles are the Internet of Things. It's not just a Nest. At the end of the day, it has to help your life. It has to be sticky. One of the things to talk about in software is sticky. It's got to make sense to your life that you can't live without. What we like about the Internet of Things, it makes things that are seemingly simple become wrapped around you like a blanket. And so I'm excited about the Internet of Things is because it'll help us connect with our products better, help companies connect with their customers better and make them like bespoke suits. It actually will be tailored to the customer, and they will not know how to live without it.
It's interesting. Do you are you doing work there? Are you looking at ways to incorporate that into your products?
Of course. I've been going to the Consumer Electronics Show every year. Gary Shapiro's been to our office, and he's really helping promote technology and the necessity of technology.
Gary Shapiro runs the Consumer Electronics Association.
Right, and we're members, and I'd like to join I'm talking about joining the Virtual Reality Committee, actually. I think that's exciting about virtual reality is it makes it immersive. You're actually in the movie. You're actually in the surgery. And if you think about it, technology is so wonderful because it's going to make you immersed in your own life. But you have to remember authenticity. It's got to be real.
Is that the most fascinating areas that you find in terms of technology going on, virtual reality, augmented reality perhaps?
I do. I think it's exciting, but it needs to be social. It can't be solo because we like to enjoy conversations in groups. I mean, it's fun to read a book by yourself, but it's more fun to talk about it afterwards. And so my theory about virtual reality is we don't want it to go by the way of the 3D glasses. It needs to be essential, and it needs to be immersive, literally, where a group of people can have a good time.
Is it though, Bill, about people having a good time, or is there a lot more practical uses, whether it's in healthcare, in medicine? I see, corporations, carnivals doing something with virtual reality where you can kind of tour the boat, and go to a facility, which has, to me, it's fun, but it's practical and it could drive business.
It's very practical because if you think about it, if your loved one is having surgery, you can be a part of it. You can actually see what's going on. The doctor can actually be much more aware of what's going on. When I said having fun, I think that some of the best ideas I have when I'm turned off. And so I think the key is you got to have balance. You have to have the balance of your work life, your personal life, your family life. And when you think about all these things wrapped together, it's pretty exciting.
It is exciting. It's so funny, though. I was just talking with our producer this morning about how you have to give your brain a break. That there's all these things. No, seriously, that they say, if you really want to have good ideas, you need to kind of step away from everything and not be so bombarded by everything that, in social media and our devices. I mean, you really have to step back a little bit.
Yeah, my best ideas come when I'm driving. And so...
talk to me about that a little bit, about idea generation. Where does that play a role into your, how do you cultivate that process?
I like working in teams, but it's exciting to have that aha moment. But when you can share that aha moment and somebody builds on that, that is a beautiful thing. So if you have a great team that could work with you, there's nothing better. I've been always a big fan of collaboration, working with the best companies. And when you appreciate each other's culture, you can only excel. And it's about mutual appreciation.
I think what Cory and I always love is talking about some of the trends that are coming down, and that maybe investors, aren't aware, our listeners aren't aware of things that are going to be making a big impact. And you talk about autonomous cars, you talk about virtual reality. What are some of the other things you're seeing maybe in the world of Internet of Things that you think will be around for a long time and that will really change the way we do things?
It's interesting. We said trends. I think those things are all exciting, but we always look for the blue ocean. So, when someone's swimming in the Red Sea, we look for what they're not doing because you can actually breathe a little bit.
Yeah.
And there's so much competition. But what I see is healthcare. So healthcare it takes too long, it's too expensive. So we're consumerizing healthcare because at the end of the day, people can't wait for technology to catch up because they need healthcare right now. And so we're on the board of the Cleveland Clinic because they're setting the tone for healthcare. And so we want to be immersed in all that knowledge and technology and help patients get better quicker with using technology.
Are there patents and businesses that you're developing right now that are involved in healthcare, or how much of your business is involved in healthcare?
Quite a bit. One of the things that we were just involved in is called Cardio Insight. It was a technology out of Case Western Reserve. Have you heard of a cardiac catheter?
Yeah.
It's a very invasive procedure, but your heart has 4 zones. Well, a catheter only goes to 1 at a time.
Yeah.
So imagine a vest you put on where you can get all 4 zones in one beat.
Interesting. Very cool stuff. Bill, thank you so much for coming by. Bill Nottingham, principal at Nottingham Spurk, based in Cleveland, in our Bloomberg 1130 studio on this Wednesday. You are listening to the Bloomberg Advantage. Carol Massar, along with Cory Johnson. This is Bloomberg Radio. Market Check coming your way in just a moment's time.